Hi, I'm Dr. Crystal Collier, and today we're going to examine our communication skills. Being a good communicator starts with the ability to read body language. A really cool brain study revealed that when teens read body language and facial expressions, the amygdala in their limbic system lights up. That's like stepping on the accelerator. But adults tend to use their frontal lobe when interpreting body language. And that makes sense because a teen's frontal lobe is not fully developed yet, but the amygdala is fully mature by the time we're 12. How good are you at reading body language and facial expressions? And if young people primarily use their limbic system, the fight or flight part of the brain, to read body language, what problems might that create? Yeah, you guessed it. They may interpret the information incorrectly. And that's where active listening skills come in. Active listening is partly a frontal lobe skill, and it's different from selective listening that occurs when we pay attention to only the things that we want to hear. To get really good at active listening, first, maintain an open mind. It's funny how listening shuts down when we start to judge. Next, match your body language to the person that you're listening to. Give them good eye contact and face them, and then acknowledge what they have to say. Being a good communicator also means being able to identify what type of communication you and the people around you are using. As I describe the different types of communication, see if you can identify what style you use. The aggressive communicator wants what they want when they want it. They try to get others to do what they want by being controlling. They may even try to make you feel guilty, hurt, or scared if you don't do what they want. Being aggressive in things like sports may work well, but it's not the most healthy way of communicating. Passive communicators sometimes don't know what their rights are, so they may not stick up for themselves. Passive communicators may not talk much or tell others how they feel or what they think. They may even apologize too much, prefer to avoid communication, choosing to not rock the boat. But in the end, they may get angry, resentful, because they didn't speak up for themselves and no one knows how they feel. If you aren't aggressive, but definitely not passive, you might be passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive communicators also struggle with speaking up for their feelings and sometimes even deny they have problems, which leads to resentment, frustration, and mistrust. There are two types of passive-aggressive communicators. Passive-aggressive types use sarcasm, and passive-aggressive passive types use the silent treatment. The goal for both is to avoid confrontation, but you know when a passive-aggressive person is mad at you, even if they don't quite say it. They say it. The most effective and healthiest style is assertive communication. Assertive communicators clearly express their needs and wants. They know their rights and stand up for them. They practice assertive communication and their competence increases, and they feel more and more in control. Now, this results in good self-care and a positive mental state. Assertive communicators have good, respectful connections with others because they care about relationships and strive for win-win situations so that everyone feels satisfied. Which style do you think is yours? Does it change depending upon who you're talking to? And how does your style affect others? Even though assertive communication is the healthiest, most effective, it's the style many people use the least. Why? Well, I think it's because it takes a lot of skill and courage to be assertive. Assertive communicators are really skilled at using I statements. It's a way of being assertive without putting others on the defensive. If you just say simply, "Hey, I don't like it when you do that, please stop," instead of, well, you get it. You can see how much more effective it is. But remember, you've got to put your own hip, slick, and cool spin on your I statements to make it sound natural for you. Another tool of assertive communicators is the communication clearing. It's a great way to own your feelings and thoughts, as well as clearly asking for what you need. Here's the format. An example. When you show up late, I feel hurt and angry. The story that I make up is that you don't really care about my time or how I feel. Next time, please show up on time. Thanks. Think of a situation you'd like to be assertive in. Write down what you would say using the communication clearing. Practice it with someone else first to make sure it sounds authentic. Then ask for feedback on whether or not it sounded too passive, too aggressive, or worse, passive-aggressive. Then gather the courage to use the clearing with the intended person. Remember the brain's rule. Use it or lose it. So practice and grow thick brain cell networks for healthy, assertive communication skills.